okay, yeah, the season's about improving, but really it's about individual improvement. It is, okay, is Michkov going to be that guy as soon as this year? Is Forster going to go from 24, 25 to 30 or more? Is Trevor Zegras going to stick down the middle? Is Sam Ersson actually an NHL goalie? How are you guys feeling about expectations for this season, and what exactly are you looking for from the Flyers in terms of standings, individual performances, what have you?
So Steve and I have talked about this numerous times on Flype, and I feel like for me, in terms of point projections, I have absolutely no expectations. I mean, what am I going to sit here and say? Like, this has to be a playoff team? Because I can tell you right now, that's probably not what they are. But what I am expecting for this season is something of an improvement from last year. That's all, my only expectation. And I think, honestly, the number one thing that I'm expecting is just for this to be a more fun, watchable team. Now, granted, that expectation took a little bit of a hit because this third pairing on the D line or on the blue line looks absolutely horrible. But the forwards are young. There's a lot of great skill on this team. I think it's going to be a fun team. Maybe not a good team, but fun, I think.
There are particular guys that I'm looking for improvement from on this team. Michkov is, I think, one of them. I think we all have very high expectations for him, and I just, at bare minimum, want to see him surpass that point total from last season. I also want to see more consistency from him, because while we all thought it was a fantastic rookie season, maybe the best since, Michael Renberg, right? It's still like you saw him start real hot, and then go real cold. And then you would see periods of real hot, real cold. And we would just like to see maybe some consistency across the board. So 70 plus points, consistency, fantastic second year for Michkov. I would also love to see TK have a full effort, because TK looked like he was on a 90-point pace last year, and he didn't even end up being a point per game guy at the end of the year. And he just lost his goal scoring touch in the second half entirely. And then if I had to mention one other guy, I think it would be Tyson Forrester, because I've kind of given up on Owen Tippett as far as my expectations go. I really like Owen Tippett. I like his skill set a lot, but I am done having high expectations for the guy. Tyson Forrester, on the other hand, that's a guy I want to see him hit, if not 30, real darn close to 30. I want to see that goal scoring go up, because while his defense is fantastic, this team needs some goal scoring. This team needs some offensive punch, not only for my own sanity's sake, because I need to watch fun hockey, because I'm watching every game, 82 games a year, and I just need this team to be desperately fun, and Tyson Forrester could be a key component of this future if he can get that offensive punch in there.
Yeah, Forster ends last year with 25 goals. He's one behind Michkov. He was super hot to end the season. And this year it felt like, oh, okay, here we go. Maybe don't have a slow start. You can hit that 30 mark. And then, of course, he has the injury at World Championships. And you're like, all right, maybe he's, like, there was a rumor he was going to be out till, like, the Disney on Ice trip. Now, it looks like he's starting the season good to go, and he looked good in the preseason games. Hopefully that means he can get off to that consistent start, because I do think he's a key to this thing. Whenever Charlie and I say, you know, you don't have, outside of Michkov, now you've drafted Martone, but you don't have that, like, top-end talent, the Flyers have always always pushed back, going, we think Tyson Forster was a top half of the draft guy, not a guy who should have gone in the 20s. He's very good, but you need to break that 30 mark. You need to be at 60, 70 points if you're really going to be thought of that way. He needs that consistency to start the year, without a doubt. You mentioned the blue line. Kelly and I were looking at it today, and I was just like, I don't have words. It's just bad. Like, think what you will of Rasmus Ristolainen, and think what you will of Cam York. They're NHLers. And that is something that we can't say for sure that half of this blue line is made up of. There's the rumor today, maybe it was informed speculation from one of the Anthonys, DeMarco, at Daily Faceoff, saying, hey, you know, maybe they're in the market for a defenseman. How would you feel about a Bo Byram or something like that, a trade that maybe centers around Owen Tippett? Do you think that could potentially be in the cards?
You know what this team needs? Arbor Jacot. That's what they need. Go ahead and get a trade for Arbor Jacot. That'd be
I would
great.
love it.
I think that's something the team. Go ahead, Steve. What are you about to say?
I was just going to say, I'm going to have to learn that pronunciation real quick.
I still don't know how to spell his name. That's
I
not
call
a
him
real name.
Alphabet Soup. Alphabet Soup.
That's exactly what he is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you read it backwards. That's the only way the pronunciation makes any sense.
Like Mr. Mixelpix from Superman. Okay.
Well, because it ends with J, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, how about X-Man?
Yeah, well, that's a good one too.
X-Ray, yeah.
But honestly, like, I would not be surprised if that is a move that they end up making, because this is, like you said, Bill. This is half of this back end is barely NHL. Like, Noah Juleson, I'm sorry, you're a 7th at best. That's probably what he is. And then you have Igor Zamula, who's miserable, absolutely atrocious preseason. And then you have, listen, I'm a big Nick Seeler apologist. I appreciate him, but there's no reason he should be a second pair guy. He's more of a third pair. It's a really, really shallow back end. And this, of course, aside from goalie, which, like, granted, they have done something about. Like, they went out and got Vladar. Is he the answer? Who can possibly say? Probably not. He's probably not. But at least they are trying something with someone new. On the defense, they have to do something. It's like that old song from Forgetting Sarah Marshall. We got to do something. Like, that's what Danny Briere is singing right now.
That's your reference there.
That's my reference. That is the reference that I just made.
Yeah.
So.
I'm definitely not opposed to making a move, and especially with all the wingers right now, because there's a backlog, and it's only going to get worse as guys like Porter Martone come in, and you've got guys like Denver Barkey right now, and you've got Alex Bump. Like, you've got guys waiting in the wings who want to be a part of this team. So that's your best asset. And I was just talking about how frustrating Owen Tippett can be, and a guy who just has all the tools but can't put it together on a consistent basis. So if you can use him to go and upgrade the defense, I'm all about it. I don't know about Byram in particular. It's not, the sexiest name there, but I think it's definitely an area that they need to upgrading. We all like Travis Sanheim, and I think he's fine, but then, like, Sanheim, York, maybe Drysdale, you're fine. Ristolainen, you can't rely on the guy. He just disappears into thin air.
Yeah.
And York, I really want to see a good year out of York. Him being hurt to start the year is a huge bummer. But ultimately, like, I'm cool moving an asset for defense as long as it's the right defenseman.
Especially given the whole situation with Rick Tocchet, how it seems like he's really taken a liking to Cam York in the preseason.
Yeah.
Like, I know that for obviously the situation with Torts was nuclear. It was awful. But with Tock, it just seems like he's gone, like, unprompted, just said, yeah, Cam York, man, I'm really impressed with him. I like how he's playing. He's been more aggressive. It's really unfortunate that he's beginning the year this way, because I felt like personally we would have perhaps seen him take another step forward.
Yeah, and listen, maybe he only misses 2 games. Maybe it's 3 with the home opener. I think you have to miss 7 days. I don't know if that starts Monday when you had to submit the rosters, or actually today when the puck drops on the season. But whatever it is, he's got to miss some time. Hopefully it's not an extended period of time. But it is just like the Forster situation the last couple years. Man, we're really looking for you to take a step. We believe in you. You got the contract. And now you're going to miss time already. It's a little bit of a bummer. And when you look at this blue line, like, without Risto, and now you take him away, it's who it's the beginning of Major League. Like, who are these effing guys? Like, it's very, like, yeah, Dennis Gilbert might get a game. Why?
Why?
That's kind of where we are right now. But Danny Briere does have some cap space to deal with, because he was able to move the Ryan Ellis contract with another year left on it after this year, over $6 million. What was your reaction to that trade on Sunday?
I was like, oh man, they had still have that contract. Okay, cool beans.
I legit forgot that he was even part of the equation still. Because, like, as you always say, Bill, like, Ellis Island is where you just go to vanish and be forgotten. And I'll tell you what, I forgot about Ryan Ellis. I did. And I was like, wow, I can't believe he managed to get an NHL player in return for this. Incredible.
No, it was very surprising, and just, like, I said the same thing to Charlie about Ristolainen. Like, I didn't, honestly, when we were putting the D groups together, I forgot about him, because I haven't seen him in freaking a year, it feels like. But it's impressive. They were able to get that contract off the books and open up some space, not have to worry about LTIR, not have to worry about just whatever the hell this thing is for the next 2 years, basically. So
That's what Ristolainen's for now.
Yeah,
For that
now-
LTIR
That's right.
space.
That's right.
we always have to have a defenseman on LTIR that we never see again. It was like, oh, we finally moved on from Pronger, and like a year later, well, we got Ryan Ellis. Yeah, 4 games, and now it looks like that's gonna be Risto.
Phil, we're talking in January last year about, can we flip Risto for a late first, maybe? And like all this talk, like we can get a boatload for Risto, and then now we're like, is that guy even still on the team?
Mhm.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They haven't. The one thing they haven't really won my trust back with yet is the injury reporting situation. Like, I think they're doing so many things better than the previous regimes. But the way Rasmus Ristolainen in particular has been handled the last couple years makes me question everything else. In all likelihood, Cam York plays in, like, the home opener on Monday. Or we never see him again. Like, these are he is lost in the Bermuda Triangle. This is kind of what we have been, this is kind of just how we've been, like, conditioned to think. And until stuff starts going the other way, I don't know how they could possibly change that perception.
No, absolutely not. And I agree with you. That's the one area where I'm still like, you hurt me still, and I cannot trust you at all on any injury stuff. And that's hockey culture for you in a nutshell, where like you just don't have to say anything, so people don't say anything.
Yes.
It's especially worrisome when you don't know when or where the injury happened. They just show up on the report, and it's like, well, what happened? It's like no one knows. And then
You're looking over game film like this, like, is it here?
I know, yeah. You're doing like the little shift by shift thing, and like he takes a whack to like the toe, and it's just like that's it. That has to be the moment. You know,
It's like the Zapruder film. You're just playing it over and over
Exactly.
again.
That's exactly it.
No, and it's one area where they are going to have to show, not tell. Like, they're just going to have to list a guy day to day, and then he comes back in 2 or 3 games and then doesn't miss the 3 months after that. And then we can finally start to believe them. Is the only way for them to really turn that tide. All right, want to do just a couple more minutes here. Of course, I am with the Flight Boys. It is Steve Jacot. It is Ryan Quigley from the Flyperbole podcast. And just, I don't think any of us, as we said at the top, believe this is definitely a playoff team. But I am expecting some areas of improvement. We've been through the goalie. We've been through some of the players. Do you have maybe a bold prediction for this season? Could be positive, could be negative. My bold prediction for the year, it's very funny. Like, Kelly goes, 100 points for Michkov. Listen, I think a lot of us are hoping for that, but it's a big number. 100 points for a sophomore is a big number. I have Trevor Zegras making Team USA. That is as bold as it gets. I think they could win gold this year, and he's fallen off the face of the earth in terms of international representation. Charlie goes top 15 power play. And when you look
baby, let's go.
When you look at these 3 things, it's like, is Charlie's actually like Charlie's is the most muted, but also has the least chance of coming through. Like, it might be the boldest prediction of the 3. Like, top 15. Yeah, they're not going to be, though. Like, that's something that has almost no chance. So do either of you have bold predictions for this upcoming season?
I would say, so Kelly actually kind of took mine, and mine wasn't going to be quite to her level. I was going to say Matvei Michkov hits 90 points. But in order, to play along and diversify, I will go ahead and come up with another one. And the other one is Trevor Zegras hits a new career high in points. He's going to hit 70 points. That's my prediction.
That would be quite exciting.
I'm big time on the Zegras train right now. I'm feeling great about that. Everything I want to say has been taken. We got Michkov, we got Zegras. Everybody's taking all the good stuff. So I am going to go with our boy Travis Konechny, and I'm going to say the Jerk Store's all-time bestseller is going to hit that point per game pace. All right. He's going to hit the 82. He's going to do it this year, folks.
He was on pace. I think it was game 40 or 41 where he was on the perfect pace. He was at like 20 goals and 45 points. Like, all right, 40 and 90, here we go. And then he scored like 6 goals for the rest of the season. You guys said it at the top, but it would be nice to see him put together the full 82 as well. And if he has the help we think he might on offense for the first time in a while, And without the coach, like, oh yeah, you have a player who's actually better than you, but I'm benching him all the time. Maybe he actually is able to get through the whole year.
I'm just hoping for just some fun from this team, because the fun with Tortorella all came from him sniping at the media and the head games he was playing with his players. You know, we had fun discussing it, but it wasn't fun to watch out there because they're playing such defensive, block heavy hockey. I want to see some damn goals. Unleash the Kraken, except I guess the Flyers instead of Kraken.
I am hoping, like, you look at this team, and yes, we have no idea what to expect out of the goalies. We have low expectations for the defense. Maybe they'll surprise us. Who knows? Maybe Noah Juleson will be anyway.
No.
I can't
Could you
convince myself
imagine?
of that.
I do not have high
I
expectations.
honestly cannot
for
imagine, actually.
The forwards,
I have
if they're
no
able to
expectations for the
gain
E's
possession,
sake.
should score a bunch of goals. Like, this looks like a group that should be able to score some goals. Hopefully, we at least have that going for us, gentlemen.
I would hope so, and that power play is going to be a big factor in it. And I would just like to see even a 20th ranked power play would be a lot more fun. And I'm hoping between having some more freedom from Matvei Michkov and having somebody that's almost on the same creative level that he is offensively out there in Trevor Zegras, that we're going to see some fireworks, because those guys have had some spectacular plays in preseason already. I want to see some just, and I know they might play around too much for some of the Philly fandom at times. It's going to happen, but ultimately I just want to see some fun, memorable hockey. I want to see something like exciting, something amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It has been far, far too long, but thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today for the PHLY Flyers season preview series. Let the people know where to find your stuff.
Oh, wow. You can find me on social media at Ryan Quigs with a Z, Blue Sky, and Twitter. Steve, where can people find you, my friend?
Oh, wow. Well, you can find me I run the Flyperbole account over on, I'm primarily on Blue Sky these days, but I got the Instagram, I got the TikTok, so you can find me on all those. The podcast comes out on Broad Street Hockey, so subscribe to the Broad Street Hockey channel over on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, whatever the heck you might subscribe to podcasts on.
It's kind of a let's just see how it goes sort of year for them. And that's kind of what the odds look like right now, RG. I'm looking at the Flyers to make the playoffs plus 290. Only Boston at 4-1. Seattle, Pittsburgh, San Jose, and Chicago have longer odds to make the playoffs from what I'm looking at on Bet365. How you feeling about a long shot? I feel like 290 is not nearly enough to bet on this team with no goaltender making the playoffs.
Yeah, the goalie situation and now the defense too after training camp and the Cam York injury is tough. But then also you look at the Metropolitan Division. You look at the division they're in. Probably only 3 teams are going to make it because the Atlantic is just that stacked. But you have the Hurricanes, you got the Devils. Can the Capitals do it again? Can the Rangers actually turn it around? The Flyers are firmly in that bubble. They have, I think, a wide range of outcomes this year, and they could make the playoffs. But like you said, I don't know if nearly 3-1 there is quite enough.
Yeah, like that's 3-1 for something that's going to pay off around Memorial Day. Like, I'm not quite sure. I guess it would be early, like mid-April, but like, man, I would love to see it happen, and I think it's an interesting long shot bet. But yeah, 290. I'm not waiting on that until April. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, if you do think the Flyers are going to make the playoffs, good friends at Bet365 have a stage of elimination bet.
Ooh.
You can get eliminated in the first round at plus 475. So you're getting almost 5-1. If they make the playoffs, they're getting spanked in the first round, and a little bit better price there.
You know what? That's actually that seems like almost a little mispriced, because, like, if they make it, they're not winning. You would assume they would be major underdogs as they've been for, like, the last 15 years in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So that is actually a little alternate thing that I might take a look at, because, almost 5-1. That's a little bit better price. When you look at the regular season points total, I think they have the Flyers pretty well priced on that. I am seeing the over-under set at 82.5. With the over set at minus 125, under at even money. Man, that seems just about right. Well, they'll most likely be in that range, and if they go over, you're not really making anything.
You're telling me the Flyers are going to be a mediocre hockey 500 team this season? No way.
Man,
And
I'll tell you, sometimes I look at hockey betting and I'm like, I think I could beat this market because how much attention are the books paying to this? And then I see this and go, nah, they got it.
yeah, the point total fluctuated. Was as high as 84.5. I think I've seen an 81.5 out there, but it's smack dab right there around where they should be. I do really like the over though. I don't know if it's just the fan in me, the orange tinted glasses, but they had 76 points last year with a coach that they hated. Now they have a coach that they love. Michkov another year. Zegras replaces Farabee and Frost. Dvorak replaces Paling and Lawton. Like Vladar is better than Kolosov and Fedotov. Like the power play might actually score goals this year. Like I think they can do 7 points better than last year. That's not too much to ask. But at minus 125 for something that pays off in April, no thanks.
Yeah, that's the juice on it just isn't there, but it does feel like, yeah, I could see this team going over. Like I did my season preview with Al Morganti last night, and I said they could get in because they go 10-0 in shootouts. Like that
Yeah.
could very well be what gets them in, or at least gets them well over 82.5 points. But minus 125, I don't know. That's if you listen, you sign up for a sports book and you get some of those free bets and you don't mind waiting, absolutely throw a little on there because it feels like there's no reason they can't have like 87 points this year.
No, they can do that. They can make the playoffs like we were talking about. And another alternate bet if you like the Flyers, and this is not available in Pennsylvania, but for some reason, but it's in New Jersey, it's in other states, the Jack Adams Award.
Ooh.
Rick Tocchet is 25-1. If the Flyers make the playoffs, you have to think his media buddies are going to be voting for him. And it's very much which team surprised this season and which coach do we like? It's Rick Tocchet at 25-1, which is almost 10 times the price to make the playoffs and 5 times the price to eliminated first round. Like that's my favorite Flyers bet this year, I think, is the Jack Adams.
I'll tell you, and you make an interesting point. One, like we learned right away how much everybody in the league likes him. We know everybody in the media likes him. He's already won a Jack Adams. Now he's in that spot where first year with a new team that isn't expected to be any good. I feel like these guys win the Jack Adams 50% of the time. Like this is the award for, hey, you took over a team we thought was dog shit and they weren't. Congratulations. Like if you get in or you're on the cusp, you win this thing.
That's exactly what it is. Like you look at all the favorites are like coaches of teams that are expected to make the playoffs that like barely didn't last year, like Turigny and Utah, and someone else is up there. But like, yeah, Tocchet at 25-1. Like if one of these middling teams makes the playoffs and their coach is 30-1 to make the playoffs, take a stab at it. And that's a bet that it doesn't get paid off till June, but at 25-1, you throw a few bucks down, you got $100 in your pockets by surprise in June.
I was sitting on Torts 2 years ago, just waiting. If they get in, he wins. And if they don't, he's not going to be a finalist, so there won't even be a cash out option. And of course, they don't get in. And it was heartbreaking that it came down to game 82. But it is one of those waited out and see bets because we kind of know the parameters of this thing. John Cooper is never going to win one. Like that's just, is he the best coach? Yeah, probably. Will he ever get the award? Nope, because we expect him to be good. It's very much like the NFL. Like, okay, take last year's record, subtract it from this year's. Whoever has the biggest number, you win the coach of the year. So we will definitely keep an eye on that. Let's get to a couple of the on-ice bets that we can make for this team. I'm seeing Michkov and TK to lead the Flyers in goals, both priced at plus 175. Tippett at 4-1. I'm seeing Forster at 7-1 and Zegras at 17-1. Do you have any interest in those as long shots? I mean, Forster finished 1 goal off the pace last year. We expect him to be better. He had a big world championship. I think Rick Tocchet's going to love him. How do you feel about the goal leader?
Yeah, I think those odds are pretty accurate. Michkov and Konechny at those odds probably aren't worth taking. They'll be up there. But Forster, you said what, 4-1 there for Forster?
Forster's 7 and Zegras is 17. Tippett at 4-1.
Oh, Tippett at 4-1. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Owen Tippett. But Forster at 7-1, especially if he gets moved up the lineup, which they might have to do at some point. if you can get power play 1 time too, he's not on that right now, but power play 2 is looking good as well. So Forster at 7-1. I think Zegras is more of an assist points guy, but I think 17-1, not a horrible price, but it's gonna be Forster at 7-1 for me.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was, he finished one behind Michkov last year. I realize we all think Mish has 40 goal potential as soon as, his sophomore season. But Tyson Forster's been right there with him in terms of production, so we'll
Mhm.
see. I kind of like that Forster at 7-1 to lead the Flyers.
He'll be on the ice for empty nets too. Get those empty net goals.
That's right. He will be out there, and I just have to believe he replaces Tippett on power play 1 at some point because Owen Tippett scored 0 power play goals last year, famously.
Yes.
So we'll keep an eye on that one. All right, let's expand it league wide, Ryan. Just take a look at some of the action you like in the futures markets around the NHL before we wrap up here.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. It's not worth betting on a Stanley Cup right now. The Stanley Cup odds are not going to change for these favorites between now and the start of the playoffs. If you want a long shot, go ahead. But we know the 5 or 6 teams that have a chance to win the cup, and they're probably 7 or the 10 best odds. So not worth taking any of that. But I do like some player awards here.
Oh,
Um, the new highest player in the league, Kirill Kaprizov, had an amazing start to the year last year, was the Hart Trophy favorite, got hurt. And now you're getting him at 10-11-1. Not sure where he is there, but I like Kaprizov there for the Hart. The Calder Trophy, we got to fade Demidov. We have to. We got to fade the Canadians. I'm going with Jimmy Snuggerud at like 16-20-1 out there. Played for the Blues the end of last year, had a good showing. Going to be on the top power play unit, playing on the top line with Robert Thomas. So should have plenty of chances to put up points there. So fade Demidov, fade Zeev Buyum, fade all these other guys.
Where's Jet Luchenko? Is he listed, Ryan?
Jet Luchenko is 300-1 for the Calder, which
Oh.
is longer than it should be. It's longer than it should be.
Yeah, it's not as if he's not going to get some ice time. We'll see if he's able to stay. I guess that's not guaranteed yet, but 300-1, it's worth a couple of bucks.
Yeah, absolutely there. And I think when you guys were doing your season award previews last week on PHLY. I think you're high on the Golden Knights this year. Are you not? I don't know if that's for a bit for Mitch Marner doing so well.
Listen, it's both. Like, one, I mean, take Vegas any year, they could very well be there. We know they'll do stuff, and with Pietrangelo out, they're going to have that money to play with. So they'll probably just, I don't know, go get the second best defenseman in the league or something to replace him. But it is quite a bit on the Mitch Marner. I have him winning the Hart. I have Eichel winning the Selke. So it was, yeah.
Yeah, I do like Eichel for the Selke as a long shot. I like Eichel for the Hart too at 30-1 or so. He arguably was the most valuable player to his team last year. He had really no help. He made Pavel Dorofeyev a 35 goal scorer, and hockey fans don't have no idea who that is. So yeah, I like Eichel props, Eichel awards this year. Same thing with Marner, but I don't know if the Toronto media is going to vote for him, and you have to factor in the voters when you are betting on some of these things.
You do, and I wonder if they'll do it just to make the people go insane. What if they're like, you know what? We're going to mess with the people here who they will suddenly say it was the fans who ran Mitch Marner out of town and not themselves.
They can just change the narrative. They're the writers. They can change it. They can do what they want. They tell the story.
They
and
write
everyone
the
else
story. They can
up.
say whatever and it becomes the truth because who's going to counter it? That's what makes blogs so important, damn it.
Yes. I also like the Stars a bit this year. They didn't really lose much in the offseason. Have Mikko Rantanen for the full year. Thomas Harley is legit. Miro Heiskanen. And Jake Ottinger is going to win a Vezina at some point. He's going to 15-1 behind Hellebuck 4-1, Shesterkin 7-1, Vasilevsky 9-1. I think he should be in that group. Stars are going to win a lot of games. Ottinger should play a lot of them. So that's my Vezina pick is the Otter down there. That's an interesting mask too. I saw on social media.
I'll tell you, I love to hear it because that was my Vezina pick, and it's because Hellebuck still puts up better numbers, but Ottinger wins the job at the Olympics, wins gold, and the writers reward him for that, even though they're not supposed to. They will.
Yeah, with gold medalist Trevor Zegras as well. I'm pretty
Of
sure.
course.
Yeah. Why not?
Who's to say he can't become that guy? He can't be the 4C for Team USA? Come on.
17-1 to lead the Flyers in goals. Then could be a good bet if you think that's going to happen.
It could be. Listen, I think he's going to have a big year. It's going to be a big FU year for him. Homeboy wants to get paid.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, thank you for joining us today. We're going to get out of here. Really appreciate you sharing some of this betting knowledge with us. So maybe we can make a couple of bucks while we watch this hockey season. Let the people know where to find you on social media.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop. Also on Blue Sky at ryangilbert.bsky.social. Post all my things on there, so make sure you give me a follow and check them out.
All right, that is Ryan Gilbert, co-host of the Broad Street Hockey Podcast. That concludes today's edition of the PHLY Flyers season preview series. As always, be excellent to each other.